In any house with more than one person, a cat makes a choice. It picks a favorite. One person gets the head bumps, the lap, the following, the 3 a.m. visit, and everyone else gets less. And here's the part that quietly stings. It's almost never the person you'd bet on. It's frequently not the one who feeds it. It's frequently not the one who loves it most, who coos at it, who can't keep their hands off it. Sometimes it's the person who barely seems to notice the cat at all. There's a reason for that, and it's not random, and it's not about who deserves it. Your cat is choosing on a specific quality, and once you understand what that quality is, two things happen. You'll finally understand why the person trying hardest usually loses. And if you're not the favorite, you'll know exactly how to become one. So hold on to two threads. First, the thing your cat is actually selecting for is the opposite of what most people assume, and it explains why effort backfires. And second, there's a precise way to become your cat's chosen person, even starting from zero, plus one habit that's probably sabotaging you right now without you realizing it. And stick around because the strangest finding of all is this. Cats often bond hardest to the person who is around the least, the busy one, the one who's barely home. There's a real psychological reason the most absent person can become the most loved, and it's going to flip how you think about winning a cat over. Here's why this is worth understanding instead of just shrugging at. We tend to treat a cat's favoritism as a verdict on our worth. The cat doesn't like me, the cat likes them more, I guess I'm not a cat person. And that's almost always wrong, and it makes people give up on a relationship that was completely winnable. Because the cat isn't ranking you by how much it loves you as a human being. It's ranking you by how safe and in control you make it feel. Those are different things, and the second one you can actually change. The person who isn't a cat person is usually just a person doing a few specific things that, in cat language, read as rude or threatening. And the favorite is usually someone accidentally doing everything right. It's not chemistry, it's behavior. And behavior can be learned. Researchers at Oregon State and the University of Lincoln have studied how cats bond to people and what predicts who a cat chooses, and the answers overturn the obvious assumptions. So the question I want in the back of your mind is this. Did your cat pick its favorite because that person gives it the most, or because that person gives it the most control? Because the answer is the whole video. Let's start by killing the most popular theory that the favorite is whoever feeds the cat. It's intuitive. You're the food god, so you should be the favorite, right? But it doesn't hold up. In plenty of multi-person homes, the person who fills the bowl every morning is not the chosen one. And researchers have actually tested how much cats value human attention against food, and a striking number of cats, given the choice, preferred interaction with a person over eating. Food matters, food builds a baseline association, but food alone does not buy a favorite because feeding is a transaction and a favorite is a relationship. The bowl makes you useful. It doesn't make you safe. So if it's not food, what is it? Here's the first real piece, and it starts before you ever met your cat. There's a window early in a kitten's life, roughly 2 to 7 weeks old, called the socialization period. What happens in that window shapes, more than almost anything else, how a cat relates to humans for the rest of its life. Kittens who are gently handled by a variety of calm people in those weeks tend to grow into confident adults who bond easily and broadly. Kittens who miss that window, feral-born, isolated, or handled roughly, often stay wary, and may bond to only one carefully chosen person, if anyone. Think of a cat named Pumpkin who was hand-raised from 3 weeks old by one patient person. Pumpkin imprinted on humans deeply and early, and as an adult she's affectionate with almost everyone. Her ability to love widely was partly built in those 5 weeks, long before her current home. So some of your cat's type, how freely it bonds, how many people it can trust was set before you entered the picture. That's part of the puzzle. But it's not the part you can control, so let's get to the part you can. Because here's where it gets interesting, the actual currency a cat pays its favorite in. It's not affection. It's autonomy. The single biggest predictor of who a cat chooses is who lets the cat be in control of the interaction. Cats are a species that did not evolve to be handled, herded, or commanded. What makes a cat feel safe is the sense that it decides, when contact starts, how long it lasts when it ends. The person who respects that, who lets the cat come to them, who pets and then pauses to let the cat ask for more, who never forces it, that person becomes a source of safety. And safety for a cat is the thing love is built on. Now contrast that with the person trying hardest. They see the cat, light up, scoop it into their arms, hold it while it squirms, plant kisses on its head, follow it around demanding affection. Every single one of those moves takes control away from the cat. The harder they try, the more they override the cat's choices and the more the cat learns. This person doesn't let me decide, this person is unpredictable, this person is to be avoided. That's loop 1 closing. The favorite isn't the person who gives the most affection, it's the person who demands the least and respects the cat's no. Effort backfires because effort to a cat usually means pressure. But here's where it gets stranger, because there's a layer underneath autonomy, and it's about how you communicate without saying a word. Cats are reading your body constantly, and they have firm opinions about it. The person who moves slowly, keeps their voice low and soft, doesn't loom or stare, offers a hand and waits. That person is speaking fluent cat. The person who moves fast, talks loud and high, makes hard eye contact, and reaches over the cat's head, that person is, in cat grammar, shouting threats. Think of a cat named Nimbus in a house with 2 kids and a quiet grandfather. The kids adore Nimbus, chase him, grab him, shriek with delight. The grandfather mostly ignores him, sits still, speaks low. Nimbus's favorite. The grandfather, every time. Not because the grandfather loves him more, he'd tell you he can take or leave the cat, but because the grandfather is the only one in the house who isn't constantly overwhelming him. The cat chose the calmest signal in the room. There's a quieter layer here too. Cats learn their person, your specific voice, your specific scent. Studies suggest cats can recognize their owner's voice from a stranger's, even if they famously act like they're ignoring it. And the favorite gets woven into that scent map we keep coming back to. Their smell becomes part of what safe smells like in the home. So the chosen person isn't just the calmest presence in the moment. Over time, they become a familiar voice and a familiar scent that the cat's whole nervous system files under home. That's not something you announce. It's something you accumulate quietly by being around in the right way. Now forget all of that for a second, because here's the part you can actually use. Loop 2. How to become the favorite. Loop 2 payoff. If you're not the favorite, you can become one, and it's not complicated, it's just counterintuitive. Stop pursuing, genuinely. The fastest way to lose a cat is to chase it, and the fastest way to win one is to become a calm, safe, predictable presence and let it close the distance. Sit at its level. Don't stare, give the slow blink and look away. Let it approach and sniff you on its own terms, and when it does, resist the urge to grab, just let it investigate and leave if it wants. Be the source of good, predictable things, meals, play, a warm lap that's offered but never forced. And play matters more than people think. A wand toy that lets your cat stalk, chase, pounce, and catch runs its whole hunting sequence, and a cat that gets to be a successful predator in your presence starts associating you with that deep satisfaction. And the one habit sabotaging you, picking the cat up when it doesn't want it, overhandling. Holding a cat that's signaling it wants down, ears flattening, tail flicking, body stiffening, and ignoring those signals teaches the cat that you don't listen, and a cat that decides you don't listen will never make you its favorite. Honor the no every time and you become trustworthy. That's loop 2 closed. Become predictable, let the cat lead, play, and above all stop overriding its choices. We're almost at the strangest part, the absent favorite. But first, there's something hopeful you need to hear, because it's the part everyone gets wrong about favorites. A favorite is not permanent. People treat it like a fixed sentence, the cat chose her, not me, end of story, and that's just not how it works. A cat's favorite is a running tally, not a lifelong vow. It reflects who has been the safest, most rewarding presence lately, and it updates. Move in with a new partner, change your schedule, start being the one who does the calm evening play session, and the ranking shifts. Cats reassess based on current experience, not old loyalty. Think of a cat named Salem, who for 2 years was devoted entirely to one person in the house and barely tolerated the other. Then the favorite started working long hours, and the other person, the overlooked one, started doing the morning feed, the evening wand toy hunt, the quiet sitting nearby without grabbing. Within a couple of months, Salem had quietly switched. Not because the first person did anything wrong, but because the second person had become the more present, more rewarding, more predictable source of safety. The cat followed the safety, the way it always does. And this is the part most people get completely wrong. They assume not being the favorite means the cat doesn't like them, when often it just means they haven't yet been the one providing the right things at the right time. The internet says some people are cat people and some aren't, like it's a fixed trait you're born with. The research says the opposite. Being a cat's chosen person is almost entirely about what you do, not who you are. The non-cat person is usually one wand toy and a little patience away from being someone's favorite. The door is never closed. The cat is just waiting to see who shows up, calmly and consistently, and earns it. We're almost at the strangest part, the absent favorite. But first, the reveal that ties it all together. Here's the truth underneath everything. Your cat did not pick its favorite based on who loves it, who feeds it, or who wants it most. It picked the person who makes it feel safest and most in control. The person whose presence is predictable, whose signals are calm, and who lets the cat decide. Remember the attachment research, that cats form a genuine secure bond, using their person as a base of safety to face the world from. The favorite is that secure base. And you don't become someone's secure base by overwhelming them with affection. You become it by being reliably, calmly safe, over and over, until the cat builds its whole sense of security around you. And that finally explains the strangest finding, the absent favorite. Why does the busy person, the one who's barely home, so often end up the chosen one? A few things stack up. First, the absent person, precisely because they're not around much, isn't constantly demanding interaction, so when they are home, they're low pressure, and the cat gets to set the terms. Second, scarcity. When that person appears, it's a special, intermittent event. And intermittent, unpredictable rewards are the most powerful kind of reinforcement there is, the same mechanism that makes any unpredictable payoff so compelling. The cat never knows exactly when this person will be available, so it stays attentive and seeks them out. And third, the absent person often isn't trying. They're not chasing, not grabbing, not performing affection. They just exist calmly in the cat's space when they're there, which, as we've now seen, is exactly what a cat is looking for. The treat 'em mean, keep 'em keen cliché isn't manipulation here. The absent person accidentally provides the perfect cat relationship, low pressure, cat-led, and just scarce enough to stay interesting. So the person trying hardest, home all day, lavishing attention, loses. And the one who breezes in, ignores the cat, and flops on the couch wins. Not because the cat values neglect. Because the cat values not being pressured, and the absent person delivers that without even meaning to. So here's where we land. We started with that little sting, my cat likes someone else more, I guess I'm just not its person. And the truth turns out to be freeing. Your cat didn't weigh how much each of you loves it and rank you by worth. It chose the person who makes it feel safe and in control, and that's not a fixed verdict on you. It's a description of a behavior you can change. If you think back across everything, the cat that reads a room full of guests and picks the calm one, the cat that orbits its secure base, the cat that hides from the unscented unknown, it's all the same animal choosing the same thing. Safety on its own terms. The favorite person is just the human who became the safest, most predictable, least demanding presence in the cat's world. Your cat didn't pick the person who loved it most. It picked the person it felt most itself around. And the beautiful part is that this is winnable, not by trying harder, by trying softer. Stop reaching, start waiting, and let the cat choose you. It's not that your cat can't love you. It's that love for a cat has to be offered in a language we were never taught to speak, until now. So let's account for everything. The quality your cat is actually selecting for, not affection, not food, but safety and control, which is why the hardest trying person loses, closed. The way to become the favorite, by going calm, predictable, and cat-led, and the sabotage of picking a cat up against its will, closed. And the strangest one, the absent person who wins precisely because they're low pressure and scarce, closed. But there's one signal from your cat we've all been misreading this whole time, and it's the one we're surest about. The purr. Everyone knows a purr means a happy cat, except sometimes it means the exact opposite. Sometimes a cat purrs when it's frightened, in pain, even dying. So what is the purr really for? That's the next one, I'll meet you there. Next one, I'll meet you there.